When I was a little kid, I had some family trouble with my dad, and my dad's really never been around. And I had a cousin named Dave Lawyer and Clint Lawyer, and they recommended that I go into wrestling just to get away from stuff and to try it out one night. And they took me in there when I was about 4 years old and just stuck with me. I stayed with it ever since. I love getting in there and just basically playing around, and then it started growing on me, and I started to love learning the moves, learning the commitment to the sport and the physical ability that it took, and I just stuck with me and I loved it. I really started getting into wrestling serious when I was in about 7th grade. Started to realize that I liked it and I was decent at it. And then I went through 8th grade, and I didn't lose a match in 8th grade. I went 10-0. And then when I got to high school, I was kind of nervous about wrestling. I was like, man, what happens if I lose, you know? I haven't experienced that yet. And then I wrestled my freshman through senior year. I wrestled 119 pounds my freshman year. Then my sophomore and junior year, I wrestled 125, and then 130 pounds my senior year. And I never really was, you know, too great at wrestling in high school. I placed third twice. I was never a state champion or anything like that. It was just something I wanted to stick with. I loved it, and no matter what happened, I was always going to do it. The week before is usually pretty rough, you know. We usually lift weights 3 times a week and practice every day, and so I'm cutting so much weight. I usually have to run on my own 2 or 3 days a week on top of all that. It's really it's a lot of work, you know, on top of school and everything. It's tough to stay on top of everything, but it's just something you got to do. Like I said, it's something I don't want to give up on. And so for me, it's not so much work, it's just like a lifestyle. I do it because I love it, and I don't see it as hard or difficult. I see it as something that's part of my life. And whenever I'm finished, I know I'm going to be sad. I'm not going to know what to do with all my time. I'm going to be confused and lost without it, you know. Like I said, something that saved your life, it's hard to give up, and it's hard to not love it, and it's hard to see it as hard work. I get kind of teased from guys on the team about this, but I have a lot of pre-match rituals. I get the same kind of drinks before every match. I drink the same thing, I eat the same thing, I wear the same clothes. I mean, even if it's a 2-day tournament and I have to make weight again the next day, and we're at a hotel, I'll go wash my clothes so I can wear the same exact clothes. I'll use the same water bottle throughout the whole tournament. I use the same socks, you know, the same shirt, same shorts, everything. I'm kind of superstitious like that. I'm probably one of the worst people to see lose a match. I get real upset, you know, and sometimes I do things that I'm not proud of, and throw my headgear, throw water bottles and stuff, and I'm not going to try to hide that, and I'm going to admit my faults, and you know, that negatively reflects the team. But it's hard sometimes when you work so hard, when you cut weight so hard, and you do something you love your entire life. You put everything into it. It's not easy to lose. It's kind of like, it's basically you're working so hard. 20 years of my life I've been working for this moment, for this year, and to lose a match, it's hard. It gets under your skin, and when you don't even think about it, it sneaks up on you and attacks you if you're not ready for it. I was really good friends with a lot of guys that left. I'm beginning to get closer with the kids that are here. I mean, with wrestling, you develop such a close bond with everybody on the team because everybody's going through the same thing you're going through. Everybody's cutting weight. Everybody is running extra. Everybody is beat up. Everybody's sore. It's just, wrestling is like a very personal sport. I'm even friends with guys on other teams that I've met, you know, during competition. It's a very respectable sport. Guys know what it takes. Guys know what it goes through. I feel really close to everyone on the team. I feel like, you know, the day I get married, I want all those guys there. The day that anything happens in my family that's important, I would probably run to those guys first. You know, they're like family. It's like family. It's not a team. Our coaches are all new this year, with the exception of Coach Ensign. Jesse Whitson, he used to wrestle here. I'm really close with him. He's a great person. They're all great guys, you know. on top of being your coaches, you know, they get to know you personally. They know every single guy on the team personally, and they know what it takes to get them through, to get them to win, to connect with them. All four of those guys are great men, and they're great coaches, and I love them for that, and I love them for what they do, because I couldn't do what they do at their young ages. You know, I know after college, I'm probably not going to wrestle. You know, it's something like 1% of college wrestlers make it to the Olympics. You know, that's my high hope, but I guess my goal for the future and what I want to do for the future and where I see myself is just helping kids in life situations through wrestling, how I got helped. Like I said, I struggled as a young kid, and wrestling saved my life. You know, I've never had a father, but through wrestling I found more fathers than I could ever imagine to have, you know. And I guess that's my goal, and where I see myself in the future is just helping myself get better so I can better other people through wrestling. And of course, I would like to win a national championship for my school. So I don't think that's out of the question. I think if I wrestle to the best of my ability or better and no worse, I can achieve those things.